When I walked in, something immediately fell off. The house was unusually quiet. No cartoons blaring from the TV, no clattered dishes, no soft, exasperated laughter from my wife as she tried to get the kids into pajamas. Only silence. That's when my eyes fell on the note, sitting neatly on the counter. My name was written in her rushed handwriting. My stomach sank before I even picked it up. Inside, the words were uneven, as if the pen hesitated with every stroke. Don't look for me. I need to figure out who I am. The kids are yours now. That was it. No explanation, no goodbye, just those cold, final lines. I read them over and over, hoping each time they would mean something different. But they didn't. Dad. Emily's voice cut through my thoughts. She stood in the doorway, clutching her stuffed rabbit, wide-eyed and searching my face. Where's Mom? I couldn't answer. My throat felt tight. I knelt down and wrapped her in my arms, breathing in the familiar scent of shampoo and crayons. For a moment, I thought about lying, telling her Mom was at the store or at work. But even at 7, Emily already knew better. She left, didn't she? She whispered. Her words hit me like a knife. She didn't ask. She stated it as if she already knew. The following days were chaos, like being trapped inside a storm. Emily and Max, only 4, kept asking where their mom was when she'd come home, or if they'd done something wrong. Each time I tried to comfort them, my voice trembled. At night, after they slept, I buried my face in a pillow and cried until I had nothing left to give. Friends stopped by with cliches. She just needs time. She'll come back. Others looked at me with pity, which somehow hurt more than the absence itself. Through it all, one question haunted me. Why us? 2 weeks later, I found the first hint of the truth. Sorting through the bills, I noticed charges that didn't make sense. Hotel rooms, restaurants, gas stations far from home. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Then I checked the dates. They matched the nights she claimed to be working late. My chest went cold. I dug deeper. Phone records, credit card statements, old emails. Piece by piece, the picture became clear. There was another man. She hadn't left to find herself. She left to be with him. I didn't tell the kids. How do you explain to children that their mother chose someone else? One night, I drove to the hotel listed on one of the receipts. I thought about knocking, demanding answers, forcing her to face me. But when I got there, I just sat in the car, staring at the glowing number on the door. My hands shook so much I could barely grip the wheel. I thought about our wedding, her laugh, the promises we made. I thought about rocking our babies to sleep, road trips, every memory we built together. And then I realized she had torn it all apart without hesitation. I drove home without knocking. Over time, the kids began to sense the truth. One night, Emily climbed into my bed, trembling. Dad, she said quietly, did Mom leave because of us? I pulled her close, my heart splitting. No, sweetheart, I whispered. It wasn't you. It wasn't Max. It was Mom. She made a choice, a bad one. She doesn't love us anymore, she said. Her words hit harder than I expected. I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that her mother's love hadn't disappeared. But the truth was clear. Love doesn't leave a note on the counter or disappear to hotels with someone else. I kissed her forehead. I love you enough for both of us, I whispered. Life forced me to keep going. Mornings blurred together. Packing lunches, tying shoes, calming tears and tantrums. I burned meals, missed forms, and stumbled through single parenthood while carrying a wound that wouldn't heal. At work, I wore a smile and pretended everything was fine. At night, when the house was silent, I broke down. Some nights, I hated her, imagining her laughing with him. Other nights, I missed her so badly it felt overwhelming. The bed was too big, the silence too loud. Each morning, I reminded myself my children deserved a father who could keep going. 3 months later, my phone rang. Her name lit up the screen. My heart jumped. I answered, voice cold than I meant. What do you want, Sarah? She hesitated, then whispered, I just wanted to hear the kids' voices. I felt my anger flare. You left them, Sarah. You don't get to call whenever you feel like it. I'm sorry, she whispered. I wasn't myself. Don't. I cut her off. You chose this. You left your children for someone you barely knew. That wasn't losing yourself. That was destroying us. She cried, but I hung up. Her tears no longer mattered. That night, I sat the kids down. Mom called. I said, "Is she coming back?" Max asked. I took a deep breath. No, buddy, she isn't. Mom decided to live somewhere else, but she still cares about you, even if she doesn't live with us. Emily's eyes filled with tears, but she simply nodded, too grown up for her age. I realized that my job wasn't to protect them from the truth. It was to teach them how to face it. Time did what time always does. The pain faded, though the scar remained. I became both mom and dad, learning to braid hair, patch scraped knees, juggle work calls and school plays. I wasn't perfect. I failed plenty. But I kept going because they needed me. Occasionally, Sarah reached out. Cards, emails, weak attempt to reconnect. At first, I was furious. Then I pitied her. Eventually, I stopped reacting entirely. Years passed. The kids grew, and I grew stronger with them. On the 5th anniversary of the day she left, I sat at the same counter where I had found her note. I wrote a letter I would never send. Sarah, you don't get to break a family and wonder why the pieces won't fit. You don't get to walk away from your children and expect them to wait with open arms. You don't get to leave the man who loved you most and cry when he stops caring. But I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I can't let you live in my head anymore. You don't own my pain. You don't own my story. The kids are thriving. They laugh. They dream. They are stronger than you know. And me? I survived the storm you left behind. I'm not broken anymore. Goodbye. I folded the letter, sealed it, and tucked it away. Writing it had been enough. I still think about her note sometimes. Don't look for me. The kids are yours now. Back then, it felt like a curse, like she had dumped an impossible weight on me. But now I see it differently. She gave me the one thing that mattered. Full custody of the two people who saved my life. They were mine. Always mine. Watching Emily walk across the stage at her middle school graduation, Max cheering beside me, I finally understood she didn't abandon me. She set me free. And the love I lost is nothing compared to the love that stayed. The love that I finally realized is